Then we head on over to Port Elizabeth now, where the trial of controversial pastor Timothy Omotoso continues in the Port Elizabeth High Court. Defense advocate Peter Dauberman will continue to cross-examine first witness Lerato Msibi. That's after noting inconsistencies in her verbal testimony. The trial resumed yesterday after a 2-month break. Omotoso and 2 co-accused face a total of 97 charges between them, including human trafficking, racketeering, as well as rape. Omotoso has been behind bars since 2017 and remains in custody. For more, my colleague Anda Nqonji has been following this story for us, so let's catch up with her now. Anda, perhaps the latest when it comes to this court case at present. Have we gotten to where proceedings are bound to take us from here? And I'm not sure if you can hear me, Arabile Kumete here, just with regards to the case then with the pastor there. Certainly proceedings now finally getting underway, perhaps some relief for some. Are things progressing at present?
Well, things are progressing just smoothly, especially after yesterday when the advocate actually suggested that they perhaps review a bit of some things that reflected on the charge sheet, and saying that they did not correspond with the testimony that was being given verbally and did not correspond with the testimony that was written down. He went on to say that there was quite a lot of inconsistencies with regards to the first witness's testimony and what she had written down, with Lerato, who is the first witness, stating that some of the things were not reflected as how she actually said them, and that most of them were actually a summary of what she had said. But what is hard to miss about this particular witness is the similarity between her testimony and that of the first witness, Cheryl Zondi, before the case restarted. She describes the incidents in exactly the same fashion, how they occurred and everything, which actually suggests that it was something probably that happened more or less around the same time. So the court proceeding is still on even now. Lerato will continue to take the stand, with Dauberman actually highlighting as well that with the inconsistencies he would actually love to hear more, and with the judge suggesting that if he feels like his client is being treated unfairly or this might result to an unfair trial, then he is advised, and if he's willing, he might go ahead and dispute it at the end of the court case.
Yeah, and just very quickly, Timothy Omotoso has had continued fan support really outside of the courtroom as well as inside for the most part. Has that continued to be the case right now as well? Has he seen a whole lot of people perhaps coming through to support him?
Well, if you can recall that this case had been, postponed for quite a number of months, which is actually true. And yesterday there were actually a few people, but if my camera person can show you right now that the number of his supporters are beginning to, pile in. The numbers are beginning to increase, with quite a relatively fair number of people coming out to show their support. Even though there's quite a number of people, you can still sense the difference, between now and the beginning of the trial, when quite a number of supporters would come out. You'd be hearing them singing and chanting praise songs at this time of the day. Right now you can see that there's a little bit of a discouragement on their side, and as much as you see a significant number, but it is unlike before. The other group that you would see outside here with me is the number of political people, especially women's leagues, that would come out to show their solidarity and support for the alleged victims. They have since decreased. Actually, there is no one, because you would also see them inside court to show their support, but also that could be attributed to the COVID-19 regulations that have been put in place, because there is only a minimum number that is only accepted inside court. So we'll just wait and see that what will happen as the court case proceeds.
Yeah, all right. My colleague Anda Nqonji there out at the Port Elizabeth High Court there, helping us unpack that Timothy Omotoso's case, now 3 years in the making, if not more now, that it continues.